Instead of menopause.
Instead of menopause,
he's
like
going through menopause.
yeah, because like you end up in a dad joke territory, right, where you're telling all these silly jokes, and I think I'm going through metaphors.
But you're actually like Esky doesn't.
But that actually happened.
You're actually the metaphor man.
Yeah, I'm known as I'm the
Oh,
metaphor man.
He can't speak in straight talk. He's got to
can't.
talk in metaphors the whole time.
Yeah.
You got heaps of them. You got a whole book of him.
Yeah, man, I use them till the cows come home. I just can't stop.
You got a whole Roscoe page of him.
Yeah, I got yeah, man, the Roscoe Pagey train of knowledge.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
the
right.
Pagey train of
Page out
thought.
his book.
Yeah. Oh, the one I used to get at high school was, or not high school, primary school, was like, oh, turn the yellow pages. But no one has the yellow pages anymore, so I was born in the wrong era.
Yes.
You know, turn a page. I think if I ever had children, though, I would name one of them Web.
Web page.
www.webpage.com. That's just me being cruel. I'm a cruel person.
Webby.
I think we're ready to jump in. Do you want to jump in?
Yeah,
There?
let's
do
go.
it.
Yeah.
And
I thought we were jumping in.
We
That was it.
are in, but I've got to do the intro, man.
Okay,
so
you
the
do the
people
intro.
listening to us talk, or they're watching us talk right now, and they're having a good time.
Oh, right.
I've gotta go, who's it?
But they don't know who I am.
Yeah, we've got to talk to it.
Yeah,
or they
yeah.
might have read it in the comments, or it's on the thumbnail. Like
Okay.
they're reading it.
Yeah,
Maybe they know. Your friends know it. Big shout out to Ian's friends.
Yes, thank you.
But
Tuning in.
I'll just do the intro. Let's do it. And welcome to the Pagey Train. Today I have in the studio with me Ian Esky, Ian Eskandor. Welcome to the show.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you for having me.
No problems, man. So now that we've riffed a little bit, let me just get right down into the origin story.
Okay.
Why rapping? What got you into rapping, man?
Like,
You've got some award-winning music there with an award-winning music clip shot by and directed by Vic Tran.
Yes.
You've got all this stuff going on. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
What pushes you into that work?
I started rapping. This is going to sound so cliche, and all my rapper friends laugh at me for this.
Mm.
But I started rapping because I saw Ja Rule, Nelly, and Eminem hit the top of the charts. And 8 Mile just came out, and I was like, "Oh,
8 Mile's a good movie, though.
Look, it is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
But rappers, when they like, was that your influence? When they look at me, like, was that really what pushed
No,
this? Like,
no.
It was for me.
Well, everyone has a different story.
Yeah, right. And I grew up that time. Like, I loved, and I still love those artists. But then when I started getting more into hip hop is when I started getting into like the whole culture of it. So like back in the late 80s, early 90s, so like KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Wu-Tang Clan, and then that's when I really fell in love with hip hop. But definitely I gotta give credit where credit is due. It was Ja Rule, Nelly, and Eminem. Yeah, but then I was discovering like Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah.
And then all the others. Yeah,
it's just ridiculously amazing music.
Oh yeah, incredible.
It's just pristine.
Incredible.
I think is the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but is there a relationship with rapping and singing, and what did you have a point in the road where you go, do I want to sing or do I want to rap? Like, was there a moment like that, or you just knew I wanted to rap?
I wanted to sing.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't sing. And then I was like, what's the next best thing that in my mind doesn't require so much discipline and effort? And then I chose rap, and then you realize, oh no, this can I swear?
I don't fucking know. Can we fucking swear on this fucking show or what?
You totally fucking can.
Okay, it turns out we can totally fucking swear on this fucking show. Go right fucking ahead.
All right. Well, then, and that's when I discovered, oh shit, rap does take fucking discipline and effort, just like everything else.
Totally.
And then,
It's an art.
It's an art. And everything else. But
Well,
I chose that.
For me, it was different. Like, I wanted to get into rapping, but I was terrible at rapping.
So you did singing.
Yeah.
You know what? Singers tell me that all the time. But
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like,
I wanted to be a rapper. But it just didn't work. It didn't work for me that way. I'm a heavy metal singer. There's no avoiding it.
Yeah.
I can't get out of it. It's what I am.
And you got to own it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's just where my head's at.
Well,
That's how I sing.
I know I'm the guest here, but what kind of metal singer are you? Are you growling? Are you?
Oh man, yeah, I know. Howls and screams. Long extended screams.
Mad.
I like doing transitions from clean to grit.
Yeah.
The grit in the middle, hard rock. Full on guttural vocals. I can do a little bit. Yeah.
Crazy. You know what I find? I find the metal hardcore heavy metal audience is similar to the hip hop audience, where they love their music so much that they don't listen to anything else until you become mature and go, oh no, music is just music, and we love
It's
all kinds of
everywhere.
music.
We should access it all.
Yeah, but like when some of the audience members
Die
in
hard.
those diehard,
They
it's
are
like they just
diehard.
listen to that and that's it.
Dude, the amount of metal shows that I've done where I've got diehard metal fans in the show, it would be unusual to do a metal show without diehard metal fans. That'd be weird.
Well,
Like-
I mean,
Well, they always show up to wearing the same gear, man. It's always like denim vests with all their favourite bands on it. They've usually got hair down to their shoulders,
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
got beards,
yeah.
several piercings, probably tattoos where people say you shouldn't get tattoos. But I think that, but I suppose that's the same as rapping, right?
Same as hip hop.
It's the
There's
same.
people who love hip hop who just love hip hop. They just wear the baggy jeans
Yeah.
and like I don't know, or BKs or like Air Force Ones, whatever.
Yeah, but
They
that's
still
it. There's
look
a
similar.
look. There's a look
There's
that
a
you go for.
particular look.
There's a look that you go for, and there's certainly a look that they go for when they're being a fan supporting artists. There's certainly a look that they go for. But I don't know. Like when I put on shows, I tried to put on like a lot of shows that I did when I was on other people's bills. I would be doing all the same metal. Like it would be one metal show after the next metal show after the next metal show. Like a metal act, I should say. Metal act, metal act, metal act, and they were all very similar on the same bandwidth. And when I tried to organise shows, it's not when I tried. When I did organise shows, I tried to get different bands. Because then you get different bands, you'll pull in more crowd rather than just pulling...
And when you say different, you mean different genre?
Not
music?
fully... But I was setting up a show last year with a band called Proxy Soma, so they rap and do metal.
Okay.
So I
Like
was trying
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, man. And then I'd put on a punk band, then put on a 80s metal band, and then put on we're like a political heavy metal band, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have all these different bands on rather than just the same sort of bands.
And how did it go?
Awesome. Oh man,
There you go.
because normally, because you know what it's like when you do a show. When you start doing shows, right? It's all the girlfriends and friends. That's everyone at your show. That's the first shows you do. Is all the girlfriends and the friends and all the other performers.
Yeah,
are there. That's
yeah.
basically the audience. And then you start to expand out of that. And my recommendation to people is if you're doing shows with 5 acts, try to make them different. Make them all different, because then you'll invite different types of people, and then they will go back to their friends and say, went to the show, man, and they put on a rap show, had a rap act, and then they put on this heavy metal guy, man. It was fucking insane.
Wow.
That's the effect you want to have. You don't just want to think about it as one band, one act. You want to think about it as a whole
show.
presentation.
Yeah.
And that's where you get more audience, I reckon.
And how long have you been doing that for?
25 years, man. Yeah.
And then you do. It's crazy because I feel like there's a similarity here where because I put on hip hop shows, and I also love film, and then I think that's a similar thing with you.
Yeah, well, I was a musician before I was a filmmaker. Yeah. I was in my first heavy metal band at 19.
Yeah.
I was doing guttural vocals from about 16.
Yeah.
But I didn't perform in a show until I was 19. My first show was in Townsville in a band comp where all the surrounding towns came, and there was 300 people in that nightclub, and I was like the third act on. I remember being fucking terrified of my first show. It's like terrifying. Your first show is absolutely terrifying.
That's a lot of people.
But then I'm not just doing like a small intimate group. I'm doing like 300 people.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I was peaked. And then I was hooked.
Yeah.
On that show, I was hooked.
Oh gosh.
I was totally
the
hooked.
feeling.
The feeling's amazing. And then people, especially when they enjoy your music and they're going along with it.
Yeah.
Wow, we can actually do this. This is good.
Do you think that feeling? Because I know what that is. That feeling of going on stage and killing it. Can that be achieved by a filmmaker? That feeling.
Yeah, totally.
Is that when the screening happens?
That's what I experienced.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about setting up shows.
Yeah.
Right? And I started out as a guy that set up shows, and then when I started making film, I realised that there was no platform for film. I go, well, we should do what bands do. We should put on a show.
Yeah.
Put on a selection of different artists showing their work, and the best stage to show film is at a cinema.
And this is a good segue, because I got to say, the Made in the West Film Festival, when I saw my music video on that massive screen, that was like one of the proudest moments of my life.
Oh, thank you, man. That's great.
And I got to thank you for curating it, and you and the team. Like, that was such an awesome feeling. And then now I think about it, that is a similar feeling to performing on stage and people screaming out your name. Like, that.
The filmmakers get to do something that musicians can't.
What's that?
Okay, so musicians on stage and they're feeling the audience and as they're behind the fourth wall. But a filmmaker is on the side of the fourth wall. They're watching their own content too.
Yeah.
So they can then watch.
Interesting.
They can watch people watching their content. As a musician, that's a difficult thing to achieve unless they're listening to your music on headphones, right?
Yeah.
But they get to what I've noticed out of filmmakers, they don't watch their movie. They watch the audience at Made in the West.
Yeah, that's true.
They watch because they want to know.
That is so true. I was doing that. I was talking to Vic about that. We're like, when we watched because that was a music video was screened at Blacktown Art Center, and then after it was screened, I looked at Vic, and then he was like, "Yo, did you see people's faces?" And I was like, "Yes, I was watching people's faces too, just checking reactions and stuff."
When you're on stage, you're watching people's faces.
There you go.
That's the moment. That's the moment.
Yeah,
that's the moment, man. That's where that bridge is. But it's very similar. Like I've said this many times before. Like a lead singer is like a director. A lead guitarist is like a cinematographer.
Yeah.
Right? Because the guitarist is technically minded. Cinematographer, technically minded. The vocalist is a dreamer. I've got this idea for a song. This is the story, right? And I'm going to say these words, and I'm going to evoke people this way. They're the dreamer.
Yeah.
And the guitarist is one. Well, I'm the person actually writing this song. I'm shooting this film.
It's a band.
It's a band. Being in a film crew is a band. It's a band, bro.
Band.
It's a fucking
That's
band.
So true.
A drummer is a drummer and a bass are like editors. And sound engineers. They're in the same space. They're listening to it all the time. Okay, so I've got to keep time. See, an editor needs to keep rhythm while they edit.
Yeah.
Because editing is a rhythmic process. It has to have rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Pitches have rhythm, right? So an editor's a drummer. They're at the back and no one knows their name.
This is
big shout out to Rob. I love you, brother.
Shout out to the drummers and the editors watching.
Massive shout out. But it's true. That's the correlations that I've found being in both worlds. Yeah.
Transferable skills.
Totally.
As all, right.
I recommend to anyone start a band. Be as a part of a band because it teaches you how to run a business.
Yes.
It'll teach you how to deal with people.
Yes.
Different people because not everyone's nice. There's a whole bunch of fucking assholes out there, man.
Yeah, even in your own band.
Yes, I don't need to give anyone a shout out. They know who I'm fucking talking about. But you know that is so true. You have these moments, and that they are totally interchangeable. But I totally recommend people either start a film crew and make a movie, or start a band and make an album. Like that is if you do those two things, it doesn't matter what you do in the rest of your life. That will enhance your business acumen. That will enhance your ability to be a promoter. Because if you're in a band, you're a promoter as well. You've got to promote your music.
Yeah.
Who else is going to promote it?
Exactly.
Unless you pay someone.
That's why I hated. That's why I hated being an artist. Because then the reality is you need to
business.
You need to promote.
It's business, man.
Yeah.
You got to be a lawyer as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to be a lawyer. You got to know the law.
Yeah.
You got to be across so many. You got to be across so many disciplines to be an artist, man.
You know, I wish someone really drilled that into my head when I was younger, chasing art. Because I chased art for art's sake. And then I never really...
It's quite romantic. It's romantic. I do the same thing, bro. Yeah.
But then it's like... I saw this meme recently. It was this guy... I mean, I don't know where it is, but the meme was before 30. He goes, I'm doing art for the love and romance. And then after 30, I need to make money off this art. Like, there's like... I'm
starving. Yeah, I'm going to die of scurvy if I don't get an orange at some point.
Exactly. You need to make money off it. And I think that's... I'm doing I get invited to do these talks at these like creative industry things, and there's young people attending all the time, and that's one of the things I say. It's like, yes, it's dreamy, and yes, it's beautiful as well, but the reality is, you want to make a living. If that's the goal,
it's a business, man. It's a lot of work.
100%.
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
I was running as a musician. I ran a studio for 10 years, man. You know, it means we've got to run accounts. I've got to run a key system to make sure everyone can get access to the studio. Like, there's all these little things that have to happen. Who's building the poster for this show? Yeah. Oh, fuck, it's me. All right, I've got better do I remember starting out like 10 years ago when I was in a heavy metal band that we were putting around town, playing all these shows, and then Facebook came out. We were on MySpace at that point, I think. Got off MySpace and got onto Facebook, and all of a sudden I had to build all the posters because I couldn't just build a shitty flyer that we put on a telegraph pole.
Yeah.
I had to like build stuff that was content that people can like
Yeah.
and look at and actually show their approval or disapproval of.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
now we need to tighten that up a bit, man.
Yeah.
No one else was going to do it, so I had to learn how to use Photoshop. I'd never used Photoshop before that, you know? But I know how to use it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can do it now. Like, and that's even worked at work. When someone goes, "Oh, can someone just fix this up?" I go, "Oh, I can do that." And I'll do this nice presentation. I'm like, who did you get to do this? I'm like, "I did it." They're like, "How'd you learn how to do that?" Because I've been a musician for 25 years.
And because I needed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mandatory.
It was, I think, and I've tried to do this. Like, I teach people about, like, oh, you need to learn how to use Photoshop, or you need to learn how to use Canva, or you need to learn how to use the booking system online, like Try Booking or Eventbrite. And then I show them, and it does them no good.
You're speaking Misty's language here.
But it does them no good until they need to learn it, because then there's a purpose behind learning this new system.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes.
But it's driven by struggle, though, right?
Yeah.
There's a struggle involved in that.
But it's almost like, I wish you could just learn it now so you don't have to struggle, but you have to struggle.
You have to struggle,
You
because
have
struggle
to
is
struggle.
growth. Struggle is the growth part.
Yes.
Growth is painful.
Yes.
Like, you can't get around it.
Can't get around it. Maybe that's what I need to teach young people. The struggle is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, no, well, look, when we were younger, right, we all wanted to be the CEO of a company. We're going to build this app that everyone's going to love, and I'm going to be a billionaire, and I'm going to compete with Elon Musk and, like, you know, put, rockets into space, right? Everyone's got dreams.
Sure.
Right, but the reality is you got to, because there's that moment especially a musician. There's a moment in every musician's life.
Yeah.
There really is.
You're about to...
Yeah, but you know what I'm about to say.
I think we know where you're going with this. Yeah, we go.
There's a moment where you go, am I a fool? Am I going to keep doing this? Like, because now I realise, do I love doing this, or do I want the money and fame? Why do I want to do this? That you have to ask yourself a very honest question as an artist. Why am I doing this? And I figured out there's two answers.
Please tell me the answer.
One is because you're selfish, because I like doing it.
Okay. Which is
singing.
not a bad reason.
It's not a bad reason.
Okay.
And the other one is being selfless. I like hanging out with my band, and I like performing at shows and entertaining people. I like those things. That's the reason to be an artist.
Yeah.
Like, if you're thinking about money as an artist, you're going to starve to death.
Yeah.
Right? 99% of you will starve to death. Put that as a headline somewhere. 99% of you will starve to death trying to be an artist. No, but I think the point is that you've got to realise that everyone wants to walk the red carpet. Everyone wants to walk that red carpet. Everyone wants a photographer in their face. Until they've walked the red carpet 100 times and they've had a photographer in their face every day. Then that's when they don't want it.
Yeah.
Right?
But they want to do it.
But they want to do it, right? So the thing is that when you get to that red carpet, you've got to understand that the 99 things that you had to do before you got to that red carpet were so daunting, so exhausting, so time-consuming, and so expensive that you may be in debt. And you're all thinking about that while you're walking down the red carpet. So, how did you go with that, making that film? That was really good. I had a really good time, and it was fine. And, I'd like to big a shout out to all these people. And but meanwhile, behind the smile is like, I haven't slept in 3 fucking days. I may lose my job because I wasn't showing up because I'm busy doing this thing, and I've run out of money because this thing and this person didn't show up.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean?
I think
that's what happens to you.
That just spoke volumes. Shout outs to Simone, but it's like,
shout out Simone.
But it's like, yeah, like there's so many times where I put my art and I was like, oh shit, I'm risking a day off at work, and Simone's, Simone's beautiful. She's very supportive, but I'm just talking in general. Like I hear this a lot from artists. It's like my job is at jeopardy if I continue to do this art. Yeah.
But you have to have that balance because you got to eat, man. You got to pay the rent. You got to keep the power on. So yeah, you can find roles in life that will allow you to do more art, or you do less art, or you keep doing what you love, and at one point you realize, okay, I can see a ledge that I can jump to, because that's what we're all looking for, right? We're looking for that ledge. I'm prepared to take a risk and jump, but I need to see the ledge. Yeah. I can't jump without the ledge.
So I need to see the ledge.
But the problem is, right, most of the artists, ones that have made it, will tell you the same thing, man. You can't see the edge. You have to jump.
Fuck that.
You have to jump into the darkness. And that's what being a true...
That sounds scary.
But it is, though. That's a true artist, man. A true artist will jump into the void and understand that they'll do one of two things. The net will appear.
or it won't.
Or they will learn to fly. Or...
Okay. I mean, I like that. Yeah.
Well, this is another saying that I like to go by. Go. The metaphor, man. How can one learn to fly if one is not in free fall?
Had to keep quiet there for the
That's-
audience to
just
just
fucking-
really
just
soak that in.
Just soak that in.
Say it again.
How can one learn to fly if one is not in free fall?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
we all want to fly, but
But I
the
gotta
only
tell
way
you-
to fly is to jump
I got to tell you,
off a high ledge.
Mr. Pagey train. That's very scary.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to.
For the sake of art, I've done it, man. I remember I've
and I
quit my
commend
job.
you for doing it. And I've
I've
done that.
quit the
yeah.
job, jumped into the middle, done it.
Yeah. And I commend you for doing it. And I think everyone commends people who do that. And it's a life worth living. In my eyes, it's a life worth living jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've looked at the abyss a few times, though. There was one time I looked at the abyss, and I go, if I don't get money in the next 2 weeks, it's going to put my lights out. I'm done. I'm
God.
done. I'm going to have to sell my shit. I'm done.
The life of an artist.
Phone rang 2 days later. One of my best mates said, man, do you want to make a documentary? You want the money up front or what? I'm like, yes, I would like that. Thank you. Hang off the phone. Whoa!
It's stories like
Save my
that.
ass, bro. You just save
All
my
right.
ass.
Do you believe in this universe granting you that's happened to you?
Interesting.
So that's happened to
Interesting.
you, right? Do you
I
think?
already hear the question. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, like is that okay? Callback, right?
Yeah.
What's that quote you said about the design and the luck?
Oh, luck is the residual effect of good design.
Did you design yourself for that call to happen?
Yes, totally.
So well that's it.
Totally. I'd already
There you
made
go.
content. I was already spruiking the
There
fact
you
that
go.
I was a cinematographer. I was already spruiking the fact that I was a director.
There you go.
I was
And
out there
and
wheeling, dealing,
and I-
weekend after weekend after weekend.
I think when telling people that story, it wasn't the fact that you just quit your job and waited. You quit your job and there was already a design.
yeah.
There was already something
Opportunity
happening.
existed because of hard work.
Yeah.
Totally. But and I like the other saying that I guess people can resonate with is the fake it till you make it. Like everyone will hear this saying, right? Fake it till you make it. But they'll only work the first 2 times. You can't fake it the third time. You have to be ready the third time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it won't make it.
I've heard fake it till you become it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
okay. I reckon it's 2 rounds though. Like you remember the first song you wrote? When was the first song that you wrote and rapped and performed?
I was at Street University, the place that I work now. I was working with a mentor there, £6 shout outs. And he got me my first gig, $100 in an envelope. And
You got paid for your first gig?
I did. It was very, very special.
That's awesome.
I mean, I guess because it was through a youth center, but you know.
You got fucking paid? That's amazing.
And then it was at Granville, and he gave you the money, and he said, "Yeah." But I had to be used to. I think he set me up because I was expecting to get paid at all my gigs, but that's not the reality of performing.
It's not.
But I remember that very well. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how would you contrast the first song that you performed that was your original stuff compared to what you're doing now?
Oh my God, I would delete everything that before. My friends are very supportive. They remind me every day of the first songs that I've made.
Oh man, I think you should be nostalgic about it, man. I think
Yeah.
these things, we're not just we're here because of the path behind us, but we're also here because of the path ahead of us.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that equation requires both parts of the path.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, like I was saying to Vic earlier, like I use a graffiti analogy to talk about this. Like a lot of people love like murals on walls, and they go, "That's beautiful graffiti." You know, I love graffiti like that. Then they'll go, "Oh, but when people tag trains, I hate that." And you got to understand that the dude tagging a train is the same guy.
Speaking my language, bro.
You got to be gritty. You got to be in the grit. You got to be in the. Flowers grow out of shit, man. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how it has to happen.
I already know you get hip hop culture. Like that's the reason why we run graffiti workshops at the place that I work at. Is because exactly that idea. A lot of people like they say when we're riding on the same train, they're like, "Oh, I hate that graffiti, but I love that graffiti," and it pisses me off. But I love that. Like that's exactly what I've been saying to people this whole time. Like you can't get to that
Without
beautiful mural without the tags.
And then they go, "Well, why can't they just tag somewhere else?" You go, "But do you understand the definition of graffiti?" Right? There's a rebellious nature to graffiti. I don't know if people are aware of that, but there certainly is a bit of a rebellious nature to graffiti, man. It is countercultural. It is totally about counterculture.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be in your face and it's supposed to offend you.
Yes.
It's supposed to do that.
100%.
It's the design of it.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
I love that.
So it's the same with like, you know, when I deal with punk bands or like heavy metal bands, man, they start out gritty, but then they get a bit of form and then it starts happening.
That's why I always say hip hop is very similar to the punk movement or like the metal movement. It's all rebellious at its core. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is a middle finger to the organisation. Really is. Because, and we're talking about groups as well that probably have been, I guess, sidelined in society as well. And that's generally what it is. And people want a voice. And that voice comes through art.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting intersection for me is like, here we are, rapper, heavy metal singer, talking about film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where it gets cool, because like these intersections and then understandings and similarities, but respect for our differences, man. That's why we're cool, is because it's different.
Well, my question to you, and I have my own answer to this, why do you think you didn't do film first and then metal?
Ooh. Life opportunities. It was about, when I was 20, it was 2000. It was the year 2000. And film wasn't as accessible as music. Music was very accessible. Even music was hard to record at that point. Like, to do a track back then on a low budget, we would use a tape deck and we put a towel over the tape deck.
Yeah.
And then it would muffle the sounds, right? And then it evolved to the mini disc. And then we could like just use, I showed my mates, you can actually plug the headphones into the mic jack, and now it's a microphone. How about that, huh? Now we've got a room mic. Now we can record our sets and then practice. Because then we can then duplicate the discs, hand them out, put this in your car, listen to it on the way to practice if you're running late.
There's your demos. Oh, well, I mean, there's rehearsal tapes and stuff.
Yeah, but then do your rehearsal tapes and then go, okay, here's our EP, right? Let's practice the EP before we go to the studio and lay down $5,000 to go and do this, right? You know what I mean? So that became more, that was way faster to be accessible than film. Film didn't really start becoming accessible, I believe, until about 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
You would have had the camcorders, people doing camcorder sort of stuff, but it was still backyard tinkering. It wasn't what we get at Made in the West now. At Made in the West now, what we get is cinematic genius and cinematic beauty.
Oh, yes.
It is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
It is bullshit good. Like, when people come to it for the first time, they go, fuck me, I didn't know it was this good, man. Like, they are blown away by the content.
Yeah.
Before, like, you go back even 2012, when we were first starting out, we would have, like, 2 good films. And the rest were really gritty.
2012, 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. The other films were the graffiti on the train, and 2 of them were murals. But now they're all murals. But you got to understand that the only reason that they're all murals now is because we allowed that graffiti to occur.
Yeah,
we
that's
allowed
right,
it to build.
That's right.
And we built it out of rebellion, right? So the only thing that is coinciding with that rebellious nature is the accessibility to film.
Yeah.
The idea of camera phones. There's even like, you can make films with your phone, right?
Yes.
You couldn't do that in 2000.
Yes.
It wasn't accessible. It was too expensive. You had to become, you either were someone that had a scholarship in filmmaking, or you came from a family of filmmakers, so you're in a nepotistic situation, or you were in an affluent situation where you could afford to do film.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do micro budgets on film now. You couldn't do that before.
She's saying that
there's examples of it. There's exceptions to the rule. Don't get me wrong, but as a general broad brush, it's not accessible.
It's a lot more expensive to make a film than an album.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh yeah. Depends what you're making. Depends on the album you're making. Depends on the film you're making.
Yeah.
But I see. But generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, yeah. There's always like, for every rule, there's always an exception, right? But certainly, I would say as a broad brush comment is that film is way more accessible now than it was in the past. In the past, it was to get into music, all you had to do was buy a guitar. That's it. Like, you're in.
And the camera and stuff.
Yeah, but to do a film, you need camera, audio equipment. You need to organise actors, have a story. Like, there's more intersections going on.
Yeah.
But now as well, like, audiences weren't forgiving of of lower content quality back then. Now they are. They don't give a shit now. Like we're watching Johnny
Is that
Depp.
a good thing or
We're
a
watching
bad
Johnny
thing?
Depp and his ex-wife taking a crap in a bed, and we're going, this is entertainment.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love this.
It's pretty entertaining.
Yes, I
The way you described it was very
Oh,
entertaining.
dude, I'm glued. I'm watching it every hour. But I'm just saying our standards of quality of our quality of standards for content observation, like watching content, not to be too wordy about it, just watching shit, is way less before. But I think there's other interesting intersections though. Right, this is where it gets weird. This is where this is one pattern I've noticed in filmmaking.
Okay, go.
When I was younger, subtitled films, that's a channel changer. No, the only reason you'd watch SBS in 1999 is because there was nudity in the film.
Yes.
It's the only reason.
I grew up in that time. I was in high school. Yes. Hormones crazy.
It's the only time. It was the only time you'd watch that channel.
Yes.
But it was a big shout out to Matthias actually, Matthias Bowler. He I think it was 2018, had a film that was in a foreign language with subtitles.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful film.
Oh, gorgeous film.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous film and a great story.
Where was the country? Where was he?
Chile.
Chile.
Yeah. And absolutely amazing film.
What's the name of the film? Just for people in case they don't.
Campesinos. Yeah, check out. Yeah. It's out there. Go and check out Campesinos.
Yeah, it's on V. Yeah, that's right. Misty's pulling it up.
Yeah, Misty's pulling it up.
Yeah.
So, Campesinos is a subtitled film in a foreign language that won the glassware #1 prize at Made in the West. Right?
Yeah.
If you try to do that 5 years before, I don't think it would have worked. You got to start to think about why. And the same year, it was that film. What was that? It was a Korean film.
Parasite.
Parasite was also a subtitled film. The only subtitled film in history to win an Academy Award for the best film.
The same.
Why are subtitled films okay now and not before?
The same.
I think I've got the answer.
Oh! Please answer. Go.
I think I've got it. No, because we do scrolling and text, and we watch films in silent while we're at work, and we don't mind the subtitles now because we have to read it because we want to watch this content secretly, and we want to watch this content quietly, or we want to watch. We're more accustomed to reading content on an electronic device now than we were in 2000. The mindset has changed. We're more accepting of multi-faceted ideas.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think our brain patterns have changed, and that's why because when brain patterns change, we become accepting or rejecting of other ideas.
Yeah.
And you can certainly see civil movements that have been happening in the last 5 years. Me Too movement, more civil rights movements are happening, rights for LGBTQ people. There's all these different movements that are happening that came from accessibility, and that accessibility is multimedia, and that multimedia has had an effect on mainstream media.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Would you put subtitles on everything you do now?
Oh, I've got closed captions on everything.
Yeah.
You can select it though.
Yeah.
Like this show, you I'm pretty sure you can do the Pagey train on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
and it'll close caption it. Yeah, it does it automatically now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh man, but look, what I've learned is here's a really left field idea for you. I was doing we got Campesinos up.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's a gorgeous film. Look at that shot. That is amazing. Oh, can you go back to that, Misty? When that old man smoking that pipe. It's just amazing.
So the viewers can see this. So I'm just
the viewers can see this. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like, look at that. This is an insane film. And I just don't know how he pulled it off. But it's just two guys. There's two guys making this movie.
Matthias and his brother, or who's it?
Yeah, no, he's cinematographer.
Oh, cinematographer. Okay.
Yeah, look at that shot.
That
gorgeous.
is
gorgeous. Insanity, isn't it?
It is. It's insane.
This is Made in the West content. You know what I mean? Like, this is what's coming out of Western Sydney, man. And you could put this film against other films in the same year, and they're very close. Like, the separation between the winner and the last person in the finals is not a big distance.
No big difference.
Nah,
do you remember who was the second? I mean, there's no second. There was a runner-up, right?
There's runner-up, yeah.
Runner-up.
Oh, we can look that up. Misty was runner-up for that year in Campesinos. Can you check that out for me?
The particular year?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to check that out. We've got it all. We've got all that data on our website,
Yeah.
which is madeinthewest.com.au. Don't forget to go and check out Made in the West while we're here. Nice little segue for a plug there. But look, no, seriously, the content that we're getting at, like, Good as Gold winning last year is an iconic moment for us at Made in the West. Not just about the film. Don't get me wrong. The film's great and beautifully shot. Great piece of music. It's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
That's why it won, right? But we've been trying to get a music video award in the Made in the West for at least 5 years. Because you can't do it unless the content exists, right? And you need to go and grab the content and advertise for it and make sure it gets to you.
Yeah.
So we did a big push to get that content this year. We made a very concerted effort to get that music award in there. And we wanted glassware. We wanted to hand over because if you win Made in the West, you get Best in the West, right? If you win the Best Student Film, that means, you know, the guys that are getting access to the industry are getting a look in as well. And if you disagree with both of those, the audience gets to vote for what they want. Audience Choice Award, glassware again, right? There's been 3 winners through Made in the West history that have gotten Audience Choice Award and Best in the West.
Great.
Right? They've pulled out both where they agreed with the judges, right? That has happened. Last year, a student film, Best Student Film, won the Audience Choice Award. That's the first time that's ever happened. So a student film, like, think about that.
That was
Towelhead.
Yes, Towelhead.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Great
Oh
film.
man, a
Oh,
film that
gosh.
just speaks to everybody.
Yeah.
Film that speaks to everyone.
I've got your runner-up.
Yeah. Who's the runner-up?
Larry Time, of course.
Larry Time with Larry
That
Emder.
was amazing.
That was an amazing
I
film.
didn't catch that one, but I think I'll watch that one. Is that on YouTube? I mean, hopefully.
Hopefully it is. Yeah, check it. See if we got Larry Time up there. There it is. We got
Okay,
Larry Time. Oh
okay.
no, this is a news special. So you got to plug on the news. We'll chuck him on anyway. Chuck him on. Oh no, there it is. It's part-time Larry. No one wants part-time Larry. Oh, Larry Time. Yeah, no, you'll be able to
didn't put it on.
Yeah, no, they're still milking that cow, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's gonna do the festival runs, right? It's gonna do the whole
Man, that was
run.
in the festival years ago. Surely they could release that shit, man. Either which way.
Yeah, and you're talking about something.
No, hold on. I've got to get this out.
Music video, yes.
Yeah, the music video. But before we go, I just have to say, when we had Larry Emder come down for an award, I got to say on a microphone to Larry Emder, "Come on down."
It was a beautiful moment.
Look, on hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said that, but
Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you?
I was drunk. I shouldn't have been on stage, really.
No, I mean, you definitely would say that.
No, but the music video award, right? To get that 4th bit of glassware in there and recognise music videos.
Yeah.
Because music videos don't get... there is, don't get me wrong, there's film festivals out there that look after them.
Mm.
But we're a film festival that wants to look after people that are making content that is film. And it's hard to recognise music videos unless you have a music video award.
Yeah.
Because then a music video could still win Best in the West, right? Could still win that. Could still win the student award.
Yeah.
It can still win the Audience Choice Award. But when you're at a film festival, most people aren't going to vote for a music video. Because they go, it's beautifully shot, but it doesn't sort of fit in the genre of film. Because that's always in someone's mind. So what we want to sort of shift is going, no, hold on, man. Hold on. It is film. Music videos is film. They're music videos. It's in the title of it.
Yeah.
It is a video.
What? Oh, yeah, this was the runner-up, right?
Yeah. Oh, Towelhead, yeah.
Oh, no, this was a...
for the music video. Yeah, big shout out to Bina, actually.
That was great.
Yeah, Bina Charger directed this. Yeah.
So you said you were trying to get the music video awards for the last 5 years?
Yeah, but we couldn't get the content.
Oh, you just couldn't get enough.
We'd only get one or two.
submissions?
Yeah, we'd only get 1 or 2 videos. And then we got in 2020, we realised we've got enough to finally do this. And now we can start advertising for it, because you've got to have a foothold. You can't just throw advertisement at an empty space. You've got to have a target. You've got to have something to grip onto. And then once it grips on, it'll grow like rust, right? You've got to get it to rust on there, and then it becomes staple. Like, artists in Western Sydney that make film know what this festival is.
Yes.
They know what it is.
Yes.
We don't. We just have to rebrand it now. We're not branding it anymore. We're just rebranding
it.
What we need to do now is get the mechanisms inside the festival branded, the music video. Because what happens when I get a whole bunch of musicians in a room with a whole bunch of film directors?
Bro,
They work together.
They work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because after that was shot, a bunch of the film guys started like messaging. We started going back and forth.
Exactly
like, what
right.
can we work on? Like,
Surely we can
the
work
beauty,
together.
The beauty of Made in the West.
We need to intersect those arts because that's what film is. That's what music is. It's intersection of art.
Yeah.
You bring these people together to make something. Because the problem is in Western Sydney, we're all in different postcodes, man. We're all separate and isolated. And what Made in the West does is erode those ideas of postcode. The idea of an LGA doesn't exist in Made in the West.
Yeah.
We're all from Western Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you figure out that line wherever you like. Like, it's very hard to... Like, if you're in the CBD and you walked west, you're now in Western Sydney.
Yeah. Like, some people say Ashfield is West. Like,
Ashfield is
sure.
West, man.
Hey, you want to
Totally
submit
is.
something?
Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Western
West.
Sydney.
Yeah.
It is a region that has now got 2.5 million people in it. And that is now. As soon as that airport goes in, that's going to go up to 5 million people.
Wow.
It's going to be... It's going to...
You're talking about Western Sydney?
Yeah, Western Sydney's going to double in the next 10 years, man.
Far out.
It's going to be huge. The whole area from Sydney to Parramatta to here, to Sydney West, they're going to call it. City West.
City West.
Yeah, they're going to build a CBD around this damn airport, man. It's going to go bananas, man. They've got $100 billion going in this place, man. It's going to be huge.
Where's the airport located? That's at
About
Bangarrabee?
5K, Badgerys Creek.
Badgerys Creek, sorry.
5K's that way.
Yeah.
5K's over that way.
Incredible.
So that is going to bring a whole bunch of business of all kinds, and people are going to need commercials made for their businesses. They're going to need jingles made for their businesses.
Yeah,
They're going to need practitioners to promote their business. They're going to need promoters to promote their business.
Yeah.
There's work for us out there, and it's coming, and we've got to get ready for it. And if we don't get these people into rooms to start talking and start solidifying our industry as a music and film industry, if we don't start doing that, someone else is going to steal our shit.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to come in and steal our shit.
It's going to get outsourced or something.
That's right. They're going to bring people, outsiders in.
Out.
Do we want outsiders coming in, or do we want to be in our local area making art, getting paid for it?
Exactly.
Everyone knows the answer to that question.
Yeah,
It's not. It's a no-brainer. So we have to be engaged.
Yeah.
This is important. This is so important for
Yeah.
us. Really is. Like,
Are you in these are you in the rooms when it happened? Are we influencing politicians?
Oh,
Are we,
God,
is this a misty question?
No. Look, we try to get in as many meetings as we can. But I will say this, like, a lot of meetings we go to, I call them... I shouldn't say it, should I, Misty?
I mean...
Definitely not.
I won't say that. I'll call it something else.
Definitely not.
I'll tell you what I call it off air, but I'll give it... it's a drum beating
It's
situation.
an opportunity is what it is, Ross.
No, well, we go to a lot of these meetings. A lot of these meetings. We call them meetings. And the same people say the same things every year. We're going to bring more funding. We're going to do this. And we just don't see the results of it.
Ross, maybe you're just tired of it.
You're
Definitely tired of it.
I call it funding acquisition fatigue.
Which is that's a true thing.
Yeah, man, it totally is.
For a lot of artists, that is very true.
Yeah, it's another way of saying that you're broke, but
No, but it's also like
funding acquisition fatigue. What are you trying to say? I've got no fucking money, bro.
But I get it, because it's like artists go through this a lot, and I hear this a lot. It's like, yes, or you talk to Create New South... Oh, hold on. Maybe I shouldn't say the names.
No, Create New South Wales. Yeah, we've talked to them plenty of times. Big shout out to them a lot of times.
Yeah, and I love them.
They've done some good things.
Australia Arts Council, all of them. It's like, yeah, when you talk to them, they're like, yeah, there's heaps of funding, just apply for it. And then it's like, how do we get that? As an artist that's just, not new, but it's
bureaucratically
it's
locked up. So I
to-
can tell you the caveats. I can tell you the caveats on how to get in and out of these spaces, right? The biggest problem you run into is most of us operate on an ABN.
Yeah.
Right, to get paid as an artist, you're an ABN.
Yeah.
Yeah. ABNs don't get funding. You got to be proprietary limited to get funding.
Right.
So how could you be a startup
And apply for those funding.
and be a proprietary limited organisation? It's a conundrum that I believe is a design flaw in funding acquisition.
And that's the kind of stuff you need to bring in these rooms.
No, what we need to do is we just need to go, don't need you, we're just going to go make money.
Well, yes. No, I agree with that too.
And then when we become proprietary limited, we go, do you want $20,000 so we can tell you what to do? Make it 120 and you can't tell us what to do.
Yeah.
We'll let your logo on our shit.
No, I
The
love
end.
that. Yeah, no, I love that.
That's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to buy a logo space? Yeah, I'll sell it to you. That's where I want to get to. No, but this is the thing. With funding, they're going to tell you what to do, man.
Yeah.
You'd know that. You've worked in enough organisations to know
yeah, for
that
sure.
they have creative control.
Yeah. It seems like You know what? It's similar to people saying like, "Oh, I wanna quit my job, so I can chase this dream and not be sure of like my financial security and stuff." But I say like, don't quit your job until you're financially secure.
Yeah, no, make smart decisions.
Yeah.
Make you. I would say
Don't let that dictate you, because then you'll get money, but then that's gonna dictate your.
Yeah, you're gonna be sad, man.
Yeah.
Like, money is not a measure of success. Certainly is not that.
No.
Look, when I
It's
joke,
great. It's great.
Money's
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah,
It is
yeah.
certainly helpful, but it's not the measure of success. I think a balanced life is the measure of success. Having balance and having moderation through your life of everything, having pieces of everything that you love is successful. But I do say in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way to some of my friends is that yeah, no, they go, well, money isn't everything. And I go, well, it certainly is a good way to keep score. But with that said, you know, I don't believe money makes the world go round. I can prove that money doesn't make the world go round. Love makes the world go round. I can prove it. Love and cooperation makes the world go round. And I can prove it really easily.
Go.
Okay. 7 people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd they come from?
I don't know. What do you mean?
7 billion people. Where'd they come from?
Oh, you mean like from intercourse?
Yeah.
From their parents?
Yeah. 2 people
Yeah.
go, I like you. You like me.
Love and cooperation.
Love and cooperation.
I get you say.
And then who raises those kids?
The parents.
The parents. Or they split up or whatever. Like, there's a whole bunch of different dynamics. I know exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
But as a general broad brush comment, cooperation and love is required to make the world go round. Because without it, consciousness does not exist. Money does not make consciousness exist. Money is a residual effect of consciousness. Money's like time. It's just something that we deem, and it is. Like, time isn't actually real. Like, there isn't 24 hours in a day. Today there was 23 point so many hours. And tomorrow there may be 24 point so many hours, and they work it out at the end of the year. Every 4 years they go, we fuck it up, so we add a day.
Yeah.
All right? That's how flawed that is. That's a flawed system. Money and the economy, you can't say it's not a flawed system, because if it wasn't a flawed system, how come it crashes all the fucking time?
Yeah.
It's a flawed system, right?
Yeah.
To the time scale of this point, love and cooperation is not a flawed system. It's actually really successful. It is so successful, it's dangerous to us.
Okay. My neck. All right then. On this point, how do you apply this to making films?
Oh, look, I just do metaphors. I don't know what they mean, man.
I think what that means is, like, you know, when an artist is like applying for funding, I think the question is, are you doing this because you saw the dollar value, or are you doing this because you can see that this particular organization can cooperate create this dream?
I find those things to be chalk and cheese, because when you're talking to an accountant about passion, they don't give a shit. An accountant does not care about passion at all. They're not interested in passion. They're interested in one simple fact. It starts with a number and ends with a number. It's all an accountant will look at it as a number. And that's what someone that's looking after money and looking after coffers for funding delegation, they don't look at it that way. They don't look at social impact. They look at it as a number. And that's the problem. Those two languages aren't the same. Passion and numbers don't mix. Like, for instance, I like to put it in a political spectrum, right? People in wheelchairs, people that have a disability, need a bit of help from the taxpayer, right?
Yeah.
The NDIS. If you launch the NDIS based on numbers, it wouldn't get released. So it runs at a loss, right? Medicare runs at a loss, right? These things run at a loss, but they're not there
For numbers.
But the people who look after it are accountants. See the problem? So when you look at the aged care system and it's falling apart, the problem is it's run by accountants. It's not, because if it was run by passionate people, it wouldn't be a problem. But there would be an economic problem because they don't think about numbers.
Yeah.
So you can't have both. So I'm not saying that one fits the other and one's better than the other. I'm just saying that they're in conflict. Those two ideologies.
Yeah. But NDIS is still running. Medicare is still going, and
because people pushed it and made it happen. People push for it to make it happen, and that's the same with art, man. If you want to look at art, people got to push to make it happen. And here's the stranger thing: to look at art and numbers, when you zoom out far enough on the art production, and you zoom out far enough, it actually creates employment. So this is why, if you want to go for funding, what you need to do is look at quantifiable data. You need to be able to quantify what your art does. Yeah. So if you make a film, you don't want to tell them what the film's about. Like, that's the secondary thing that you're telling them about.
Yeah.
When I make this movie, I'm going to employ 100 people, and I'm going to pay them this much. And those and 20 of those people are going to subcontract to another 20 people.
Yeah.
And they're going to be paid this much. And when they go to different towns, they're going to spend this much money, and they're going to be there for this much time. And by the way, the film is about. You get me? That's how you go for funding. If you want advice on funding, you need to quantify what you're doing.
Yeah,
they don't care about your passion project. They care about the numbers, man. Does it create employment? Tick. Does it reach a diversity cannons and make everyone feel warm and fuzzy? Tick. Is it offensive in any way? Tick. Right? Is it non-offensive? Sorry.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to dilute what art actually is now, because now we have expectations of, so we're making this movie, we need to have a white guy, an Asian guy, and a black guy. And one of them needs to be gay.
Oh, goodness. Well,
we need to write the movie around that.
I admire the intention, but yeah,
you know what I mean?
Very difficult.
Yeah, the intention's one.
Yeah,
that's totally cool.
Yeah.
Like, but a big shout out to Von, actually. Von Patiak is a previous winner of May in the West.
Big love for Von, by the way.
Yeah, Von is fantastic, man. He put me onto this idea, and it goes, it's not about diversity, bro. It's about inclusivity, and they are different.
Yeah.
They're totally different. You could have a whole bunch of it doesn't matter what ethnicity on screen and one different person. It doesn't matter. The story is what matters.
Yeah.
And as long as you include people into that space, it shouldn't matter. And especially in Western Sydney, man. Like, we get taps on the back from like diversity arts and things like that. They go, it's really great that you're doing these sort of things. We're like,
it's like, but that's,
but we're not.
Yeah,
we're not doing those things.
You know what I love about?
But you're representing women of color on screen. I'm like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. But we just happen to.
It was a good movie. Yeah, I agree. It was a good movie. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
But we're not promoting her because she's ethnic, man. That's not why. That has nothing to do with it, bro. No. That's so far.
But I say though,
it's important.
People from Western Sydney, like to try and get their foot in the door, will use that just to get the foot in the door. And I get it, because that's one of the points that they can use. And
if that's a nail and there's a hammer involved, hit it.
Yeah, hit it. But I do think it's cheesy when like the next Netflix show that comes on, there's always that, one Latina, then there's that one black person, and then there's always the racist white guy. I think that's such a trope.
Actually, I've actually the last two roles I've played was a racist white guy. I'm just saying.
You did your research. You did it very well.
I did a lot of research into that. I was very astute at my job.
But I love all that stuff. I'm saying when it becomes too tried and it becomes trope, like it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, you need to let the chips fall where they may. And as I say, like progressive ideas are fantastic. We should be definitely doing that. Should we all get paid for the same amount of work for doing the same thing? Totally, man. That's a no fucking brainer.
Yeah,
that's easy. Is there such thing as privilege versus this, that, and the other? Well, there's exceptions to the rules. In some cases, yes. In other cases, no. Depends what you're talking about, where privilege exists. But privilege is transferable in many situations across many different scenarios, man. It is not you can't blanket what that is. Does it exist? Yes. Is it important? Not really. Because if you go and do something cool, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it make money? Because when you're talking to the accountant, they go, because they had $1 million. They go,
they don't care.
Yeah, but he's gay. You don't want the $1 million then? Oh, all right. They're not like that at all. They don't care. It doesn't matter. As I said, business does not care about passion in that way. Entrepreneurs care about being passionate about being an entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the numbers, a lot of famous music producers will say this, it starts and ends with a number, man. You were born on this date, you will die on this date. Number. When you were born, you were given a birth certificate. Number. When you get a job, you have a tax file. Number. When you stand in a queue, you were given a number. When you are counted in voting, you're a number. Your whole life, you're a number. And you can look at life that way. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, from my perspective, there's more things to life than that. There's more nuance than numbers.
It's a lot more nuance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why would you want to be? I just find that boring. I like there's more variety out there.
Yeah, it becomes too predictable.
Way too
Like,
predictable.
yeah, they just
Yeah, the sun is going to go down at exactly 5:53. Okay, well, I said about 6-ish, but, you know, I was there for the photo, and I got a great shot of it, so, you know what I mean?
I'd rather 6-ish. I'd rather come around 6-ish.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Oh, man, look, I think we've gotten really close to the end of the show.
Sure.
I really do, because Misty's got a lot of work to do, and she's probably going to beat me to
Well,
death.
don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'd love to hear what Esky's been up to lately.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, let's go. Yeah, we've got a few more minutes. You're right. We got
I don't mind.
What have you been up to lately?
Um,
You writing any new music, or we got any
no,
EPs coming out?
well, there's interesting. I mean, we just talked about this, but I'm taking a break off music because
hiatus.
I find it very tiring and difficult. But I love it the same.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was gonna happen when I was going into it. I'm doing more writing and I'm doing stand-up comedy now.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
man.
and I gotta say, okay, this is the whole thing about
That's great.
the fact that you were able to do metal music and then go into film and then those skills were transferable. It was the same for me. I was rapping for about 10 years and now doing stand-up for about 1.5 years. And I'm not saying that I'm this really big shot, but I found myself excelling a lot quicker than some of my peers. And I realized it was because of the 10 years of rap that I had.
Stage presence, all the things that you already know. Yeah.
Writing bars, like songwriting. There's almost a formula
You're
to
waxing
it.
lyrical, right?
The same with stand-up. And I was like, oh, that's why.
I've been so close to wanting to do stand-up, and then I just don't do it.
We are running a room, a comedy room up in Glendenning.
Okay.
When you're ready, you're going to be on the bill.
Okay, I'll come and do it. I'll come and do a set.
3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah, I reckon. Man, I've got anecdotes out my wazoo, man. I can do anecdotes, but what I've got to figure out is how to arrange that and put it into a punchline and put that in a way that's laid out where people are going to go, "That's funny."
Yeah.
That's where the writing skill is, right?
Yeah.
And obviously delivery.
So we run those nights, and the night before we do like a quick workshop for all the newbies. So please come through. Like,
Oh man, I'll give it a shot.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's something that I want to go and pursue permanently. Like, I think I like acting, I like directing, I like singing, but the stand-up has always been something that has been in my mind since I was like 15.
Yeah.
I was always because I was the weedy kid, right? I was the little nerd.
Yeah.
And
you had to survive, right?
yeah, survival. Like, it's really hard for someone to punch you in the face if you made them laugh.
That's right.
So you make people
I agree,
laugh,
yeah.
and so I had a natural knack for just having those punchlines. It was all known as the metaphor, man. 'Cause I just know how to make word association and get inside your head and go, I can make you giggle in an offensive way without being offensive.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, it's angles, right? It's all angles. It's like, I just see the angle, and you can just exploit the angle.
Yeah.
You know? That's the way I see it.
Yeah, that's the skill, and I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to sort of do that on stage, but I don't know. Like, I don't mind getting on stage. I don't mind the idea of totally like fucking it up and having people boo me. I can handle that. Been through that before.
We're trying to be the first comedy room where we encourage booing. Now that sounds as evil as it does sound, but it's about the room. It's about the comfortability, confidence.
Yeah, but as well, you got to gauge the work, right? So
Yeah.
when you're on stage and you're singing heavy metal, you know if people like your shit or not because they're up the front moshing, right? They're engaged in your music.
Yeah.
If they're not engaged in music, they kind of might like it, or they might not like it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think comedy, I've seen some of the comedy rooms, I think some of them are too safe, in my opinion.
I'm a pretty controversial person, though. Like, I say some pretty caustic fucking things, man.
But look, if you're going to say it, if you're going to say it, then say it, but understand that there's repercussions.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. What am I trying to say here? If I was going to say something and do it as an act to make people laugh, that's the objective. If that's a bit, I wouldn't go in there to go, I'm going to go in there because I'm going to say this offensive thing that's going to make half the people laugh and half the people leave.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not going to do that.
There's no tact in that. There's no like.
Yeah,
there's no real.
yeah,
Just saying something offensive on stage. That's it, right?
It's a bit of a blunt instrument, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Totally happy being offensive. Totally happy doing that. Been that plenty of times in my life.
There's that line, eh?
But I don't know. Look, there's this big shout out to the Bin Chickens. Actually, we have this thing at this pub that I go to.
Okay.
When we have a newbie show up,
Yeah,
because we're the popular group in the pub, right?
Okay,
We're the popular guys. We make all the noise.
What's a pub?
The Red Cow?
Oh, the Red Cow.
Red
Oh,
Cow,
yes,
mate.
yes, the Red Cow.
So you'll know us at the Red Cow.
The Red Cow. I love
right?
the Red Cow.
So we go to the Red Cow, and there's a few popular groups there, and I like, we're a geeky group there that makes a bit of noise. And when someone else sits down, because there's always a newbie, and you can see people cruising for friends. You ever see that in a pub where people are like, I'm lonely and I'm cruising for friends. And you see them walking around. There's all kinds of people that will do that. Multiple ages, multiple backgrounds doing this sort of thing.
Okay.
And then they'll sit down and I'll look at some of my friends and go, he's 3 minutes. He will leave in 3 minutes.
You know.
I know. He won't be able to. This guy that just sat down, because we can talk. I've known these guys for so long and we know each other so well that I can talk to them in a clandestine sort of secretive way and go, 3 minutes. Now they'll know what I mean. They go, okay. And that's kind of eggs each other on, going, right, how offensive can we be to make this person fuck off or stay?
Okay.
They either do one or two things.
And you sort of bet on...
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they fuck off. Like, they won't... Because, like, it's easy to throw shit on someone. You know what I mean? It's easy to bag someone out. Right? And we'll start out nice. It always starts out nice. And at one point, we're going to hang shit on them. And invite them, because hanging shit on someone is an invitation to hang shit on me.
Sure.
And if you don't get the invitation, then you're offended.
Right.
That's how we look at it. If I offend you, like if I'm trying to offend you, and I'm having a go at either your looks or whatever it is, right? Whatever grip hold I can get hold of and exploit it, and if you can't handle it, you'll walk away. But if you can handle it, you go, I'm going to counter that with, nice hat, fuckwit. You know what I mean? And sometimes as people sit down and go, ooh, a stayer. Ooh, I think we got a stayer.
And it's always great seeing those people.
When you meet a stayer, man, it's a solar eclipse when you see a stayer, man. It's fucking rare when you see a stayer, because there's some stayers who go, oh, they're a half stayer, because you can have a half stayer. They go, this is the only time they're going to be in this pub, and they'll never come back again.
Yeah.
They manage to stick around for the next 4 hours of debaucherous beer drinking and surly swearing and offensive jokes and terrible language. And some people come back, and they end up being then they become a prospect. We go, they're a prospect bin chicken.
There's a whole ranking.
There is, man. Well, I'm the vice president. I'm pretty sure I'm the vice president. And I think I was also called the Red Cow mascot the other day. I was called the Red Cow mascot. I'm like, I don't know what I fucking think of that. I'm a little bit offended. I might not go back. I had someone come up to me and goes, I know you, man. You're like the mascot around here. I'm like, fuck. Okay. Is it because I'm warm and fuzzy and shit, man? What's going on? It's like, no, that ain't why. It's because you were singing Killing in the Name of, and there was a mosh pit going, and you basically told everyone to get fucked. I was like, okay.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, motherfucker. Well, on that note, man, I think we've reached right to close to the end of the show. We're definitely in that zone. All right, fantastic, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
This has been
Thank you,
absolute
Esky, for having me. Yeah.
It's been absolute hoot, man. I'd love to see you guys back at Made in the West next year. Come along as guests and come and hang out, come have a drink.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
I'll see you guys at the Red Cow.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, come see us at the Red Cow. Yeah, we do the pool comp every Wednesday. You should come along.
Yeah,
we love playing pool. We play a lot of pool.
Yeah.
Play a disgusting amount of pool. We're also quite offensive while we do that as well. Big shout out to Zany. But man, I thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you.
And guys, you've been watching the Pagey Train. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also hit for notifications. But here's another announcement. We are now on Spotify doing video. That's right. If you're getting sick and tired of fucking YouTube, you can hop on across to Spotify and watch us on there. But hey, if you're listening to us in the car on different devices, you can find us on iHeartRadio, Apple iTunes, and basically anywhere that you can find podcasts. Hey, it's 2022. Get with the times. You have been watching the Pagey Train, and we'll see you next time. That's it, man.
Thank you.
We're done.
Yes, thank you. That was fun. That was so fun.
We fucking made it.
100 episodes.
100 episodes. Oh, shit. I didn't do the 100 episodes. Hold on. Put your headphones back on.
Episodes.
I can't believe it. No, we're back. We're back. We'll do the sign off again in a second. This has been the 100th fucking episode. I've got a big shout out to all of my fans out there. We've passed over 30,000 downloads. It is insane.
Wow.
I hope we pick it up more. Spotify is really picking up because now we've got this video widget going on, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, man, you're on the 100th show. I didn't even realise.
You know what? You need a special guest like me to be on the 100th episode of...
Oh, I feel really bad because I told Chad last week.
Oh no!
'Cause
You promised someone the 100th
Yeah,
episode.
man, he's in a punk band and he's going to come on.
No.
I'm like, he's on the 100th episode. But then we did this one. I thought, oh shit, because he's next on Thursday. But it got worse because now I've got another podcast on Monday. I'm like, oh shit, now I've got to tell Ben that he's not the 100th episode. But yeah, no.
Oh gosh.
But look, let me take this opportunity to thank my beautiful wife, Misty. She's been supportive of the show for the last 5 years now, which has been absolutely fantastic. And obviously a big shout out to Wade. And another big shout out to one of my other producers that I'd like to get back on the show at some point, Nathan, who's doing his own podcast, which is Not So Secret Dad Business. So I'd like to reconnect with him and get him back on the show so he can promote that. And so just a big thank you to the Pagey Train team and everyone that supports me, and it's certainly the listeners. There's no way I can do this without you guys, and you guys have been really supportive. And yeah, I just hope it grows from here, and I hope that it just gets better and better, and it really is, and I'm really having a good time doing it. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and I learn so much, and I get to
fun.
Yeah, and I get to talk to a lot of people and have a good time, right? You had a good time,
Yeah, I did. Had a great time.
All right, for my second sign off, you've been watching the Pagey Train, and you know where to find us. And basically, check us out on Spotify. But if you're on YouTube, subscribe and flick us an iHeartRadio one once in a while. Do the right thing. Just subscribe. You've been watching the Pagey Train, and we'll see you next time. Now we're certainly done. We're definitely done this time. Woo!